Say goodbye to bottlenecks. If you are looking for a CPU and GPU combo that will not stutter and will give you perfect smooth gaming performance, this video is going to be for you. I will show you the best value GPU and CPU combo for every resolution, and I will show you two combos for each budget and resolution. That way, if you can spend more money, you can get the second combo, and if you want the best price to performance, you can get the first one. Also, I will explain to you how not to bottleneck your entire system and what is a bottleneck throughout this video. So if you want to learn more about computers and also get the perfect CPU and GPU combo for your budget and needs, this video will be perfect for you. All the links to these CPU and GPU combos will be down below in the video description. With that being said, let's start. First, we are going to start with the budget combo. This is a 1080p 80 plus FPS on average high to ultra settings combo, and it has the i5 12600KF because it's going for just $150, and in my opinion is the best price to performance CPU at around this price point. Just keep in mind that it's on sale, so if it's not on sale anymore, I will leave a similar CPU in the description that's going to be around the same price. And then for the GPU, you get the RX 6650 XT. This graphics card, as I said before, is 80 plus FPS capable on average at 1080p high to ultra settings, and even higher than that if you are not going to play the latest AAA titles. If we are talking about esports shooters such as Valorant and CS2, you can expect well over 144 plus FPS on average, and this combo, when I'm recording this video, is going for just $380. So very good combo for under $400 if you are on a budget and you want a 1080p gaming PC build. Now, if you have more money to spend, then I do recommend you keeping the same CPU because it's going to be amazing to pair with almost any GPU, and then I recommend you upgrading the graphics card to the RX 6750 XT. This one right now is going for $330 and it's going to give you a 1080p ultra gaming performance, and it has 12 gigs of VRAM, which means that it's a future-proof 1080p gaming graphics card. You can also play at 1440p with no issues if you buy this GPU, so if down the line you want to upgrade to 1440p and play on high to ultra settings, you can expect around 78 plus FPS on average in high demanding titles at 1440p. But of course, this will depend on the exact game that you're playing and the settings. And then if you want to play at 1080p, you can expect around 110 plus FPS on average with the RX 6750 XT and the i5 12600KF. Then if you want to play esports shooters like the ones I've mentioned before, you can expect 240 plus FPS on average. And if Fortnite is your main game, then I do recommend you switching the graphics card to an Nvidia GPU because they are usually better optimized for Fortnite. That being said, something like the RTX 4060 or 3060 are going to be ideal, and then you are going to be achieving 240 plus FPS on average in Fortnite. Anyway, if you want to play mainly Fortnite, then I do recommend you watching my video on the best value esports PC for Fortnite. That's going to be in the top right of the screen, and I built it myself just to play Fortnite high FPS. This combo with the 6750 XT is under $500, so it's not going to be the cheapest one, but it's definitely not the most expensive combo. In my opinion, one of the best ones in terms of price to performance for gaming at 1440p and 1080p. Then if you are looking to play at 1440p resolution and you want higher FPS, I do recommend you getting the Ryzen 5 7600 from the Aeon 5 platform. Right now going for $190, very cheap for this powerful CPU. I tested this CPU myself and trust me, it's going to be a beast, and you can pair it with most GPUs in the entire market except for the RTX 4090, which is the most expensive GPU out there. And then for the graphics card here, you get the RX 6800, which is an amazing 16 gigs of VRAM graphics card that's going for $380 at the moment. And in terms of performance, at 1440p high to ultra settings on high demanding titles, you can expect around 90 plus FPS on average, so very capable of 1440p resolution. And you can also play at 4K 60 plus FPS on average if you are not going to play high demanding titles. Let's say for example you want to play easy to run games such as GTA 5, then you can even run those at 4K 60 plus FPS with no issues. But this combo is mainly for 1440p high FPS. If you want to play esports titles, you can expect once again 240 140 plus FPS on average at 1440p competitive settings. This combo is going for $570, and once again, if Fortnite is your favorite game, I recommend you getting an RTX 4060 Ti 16GB version instead of the RX 6800. And also another GPU to consider is the RX 7700 XT, which is slightly newer than the 6800 and is going for around the same price. But I don't want to make this video too long, so if you want to see the exact comparison, you will have my video on the best 1440p graphics cards and myself comparing every GPU once again in the top right of the screen. And then if you have more money to spend and you want to play at 1440p Ultra, then I recommend you sticking to the Ryzen 5 7600 for the CPU, but then getting the RX 7800 XT for the GPU or RTX 4070. The 7800 XT is slightly cheaper, $500 USD, while the RTX 4070 at the moment is going for $530. And this comes down to your budget and your needs if you prefer Nvidia or if you prefer AMD. In terms of gaming performance, you will be getting an amazing experience at 1440p resolution high to ultra settings. In fact, you can expect over 100 FPS on average depending on the game and depending on the settings with both GPUs. And then in terms of esports titles, you can expect well over 300 plus FPS on average on competitive settings. This combo is going for $690 when I'm recording this video if you go with the 7800 XT, and if you decide to go with the RTX 4070, it's going for around $720. And then if you want to play at 4K, we have once again two combos. The first one being the best one in terms of price to performance if you want the best gaming performance for the lowest price. This one has once again the Ryzen 5 7600 because of how powerful this CPU is, especially if you are going to play at 4K where your GPU matters the most. And then for the graphics card, we get the RX 7900 XT. This is a 20 gigs of VRAM graphics card that's going to allow you to play at 4K high to ultra settings with no issues. In fact, you can expect around 75 FPS on average at 4K native resolution. And remember, this is high to ultra settings in high demanding titles, so if you lower the graphics settings to high, you can pretty much expect well over 85 FPS on average. And then the other GPU that's a bit more expensive is the RTX 4070 Ti Super, which is slightly worse in terms of rasterized performance, where you can expect to achieve around 70 plus FPS on average 4K native resolution, and it has less VRAM than the 7900 XT with 16 gigs of VRAM. However, I do not see this as a problem for 4K resolution because I think 16 gigs of VRAM is going to be enough for the next few years. I must say that if you have extra money to spend, I do recommend you going with the Nvidia GPU because you get a much better level of ray tracing. In fact, on a 10 game average with ray tracing enabled, the RTX 4070 Ti Super was able to average 86 FPS and the 7900 XT was able to average 66 FPS. So that's a 20 FPS of difference in favor to the Nvidia GPU. That's one of the main reasons I do recommend you going with Nvidia. And then you also get DLSS, which is the upscaler technology from Nvidia, and it just works better than FSR, which is the upscaler technology from AMD. The price for the combo with the 7900 XT is going to be around $900, and the price of the combo with the 4070 Ti Super is going to be around $980. And also, the 4070 Ti Super is usually better when it comes to productivity apps and content creation, so if you are a creator, most likely Nvidia is going to work better with your favorite program. However, I do recommend you checking a comparison between the 7900 XT and the 4070 Ti Super in your favorite program before buying any of these GPUs. Now, I want to say that there's always going to be a bottleneck. Yes, that's surprising, right? Because a bottleneck is one component limiting the performance of the system. And you always want your graphics card to be the bottleneck. So you always want your graphics card to be working at 100% for gaming. That way, the limiting factor is the GPU and not the CPU. If the CPU is working at 100% and becomes the bottleneck, then we have an issue and it's going to stutter. But if the GPU is the bottleneck and your CPU is good enough not to bottleneck your GPU, that's when you get a great gaming combo. Now, there are many more components that can bottleneck your gaming experience. Basically, every component can become a bottleneck and you really want to avoid it if you want the best, smoothest gaming experience. For that reason, I made an entire video with the best PC builds for every budget and every resolution. You will have it in the top right of the screen with the other videos I've mentioned today. And if you need personal PC help, in the top link in the description, you will have a link where you can ask me anything for your situation, whether it's a pre-built PC or a PC build, and I will help you out personally, depending on your budget and depending on your needs. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for the support, and I will see you on the next one.